welcome, my friends. Thanks for stopping by once again as we sample some more great tasting American craft beers with Dr. Dave. Outstanding indeed. Now for our sampling pleasures and tasting delights today. Oh, we have a special treat, no doubt about it, from the Bell's Brewing Company, located in Comstock, Michigan. This is the Spontaneous Me. Let's see if we can see it a little bit better over on this side. The Spontaneous Me. This is the Series 7, the final installment of this beer. Now, my friends, this was in tribute to Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass. Oh, yes, indeed. Yeah. This is a interesting beer. Now, I had the 4th in the series, I believe it was. But this is a wild American ale that checks in at 6.5% alcohol by volume. It's definitely bottle conditioned with wild yeast. And this particular bottle was brewed way back on 8/19. Yeah, August 19 of 2020. It's good for a year in the bottle because it is bottle conditioned. So let me see here. Let me dig out my bottle opener. I don't use it too often these days. And let's see, save the bottle cap. Yeah, save the bottle cap. It's got a 7 on it. Let's take our time here. Get our money in place. Yeah, you see you put a bottle, the bottle cap, you put this is a Susan B. Anthony dollar, and you put the opener between the two, and it won't dent your bottle cap. And that way I can put it on the fridge, and it looks quite lovely. Now I have quite a large range of glassware from Bell's, but I don't have one appropriate for this beer, so we're going to go ahead and use this glassware right here from Spieglau. It should be a relatively clear pour up until the end, and you see it's pouring out a very light colored champagne color. But what you do is you go ahead and get most of the beer in there, and then about the last ounce or so, you go ahead and swish it around the bottle and watch what comes out. Yeah, and now, you see that last little bit come out? That's going to make it a cloudy monster. Now, I don't see anything floating around in there. This beer, you shouldn't see any yeast. Now, if it's an old bottle, say we let it sit around for 2 years instead of the 1 year that's recommended, you might start to see some small chunks of yeast that float around in the bottom. Some beer reviewers claim they see chunks of things. Believe me, if it's a filtered beer, you shouldn't see anything floating around in your beer. If you do, I'd be very wary of drinking that beer, and I would start checking the dates on the cans and bottles before I bought them, because you shouldn't see anything in a filtered beer. An unfiltered beer, yes. A filtered beer, never. That's how it works. Anyway, let's look at this beer. It's a rather hazy beer now that we switched around the yeast in the bottom. A very beautiful golden color. Now on the screen there, it looks a little bit different than a golden color. I'm not quite sure what that color looks like on the screen there, but I'm right in front of it. It's definitely a medium golden color. Very small amount of head. If you pour these beers straight in and you don't let up, what's going to happen is that it's going to run over the top with the foam, and you're going to have a bloody mess. Now, I can go ahead and I can bring back a little bit of foam here. All you have to do is gently agitate this beer. It doesn't take a lot because it is bottle conditioned, and you see how it brought it right back. All right, let's see what kind of aroma we can pick up. Oh, man. Whew, that Belgian yeast is in there. Went right up my nose. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's Belgian yeast, but it's yeast, baby. It smells like Belgian yeast. It smells a little sweet, maybe some coriander in there as well. It's going to be a kick-ass beer. Let me thank the brewers there at Bell's in Comstock, Michigan, for all the hard work they put into this beer. And cheers to everybody at home, no doubt. Little bit tart, little bit earthy, little bit yummy. It's a very decent beer. This is a very satisfying beer. Very light-bodied beer. medium carbonation in here. Very light bodied beer. It's a good beer to sit out on the balcony on a day like this. And we got 87 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, I don't know, what about 28 degrees Celsius? A bloody hot day again here. For the month of May? Oh, come on, give me a break, man. It's not even close to summertime here. It's got that sweet sour thing going on there. It's a little bit sweet right up front, and then the tartness takes over, leaving some nice lacing on the glass, as you would expect with a bottle conditioned beer. Man, that's just great. That's just lovely. But this is a beer, at least for me, I have to take my time with this beer. Beers that have a little bit of a tart finish just aren't my cup of tea, if you will. And it's a very drinkable beer, don't get me wrong, but I have to take my time with tart finish. Very small sips for me. Oh, that beer looks just so quite lovely. Look at it. Isn't that beautiful? Oh man. Very well crafted beer. Bell's always does a kick-ass job. You should still be able to find this beer if you really want it. Oh, I'm sorry for that lighting. Let me put it over on this side. Yeah, you should still be able to find this beer if you really want it, because it's good probably until the end of August of this year, and we're only, in May? So if you really want this beer, you should be able to find it at your local beer emporium. No doubt about it, my friends. Very light-bodied beer, very easy drinking. Got some coriander in there. Some cardamom, too, I think. Definitely some wild yeast in there. Sitting on the back of my tongue there. It's quite lovely. All right, my friends. Life is short. Let's be happy and drink great craft beer. Cheers to that. Until we meet next time. Cheers.